Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Happy Tuesday, family. Let's go ahead and go to God's Word. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Paul is writing to Timothy, and he's still kind of in the greeting section of his letter. Remember, he's in the bottom of a hole, and he's at the end of his life, about to be executed for the faith. And in verse 3, he says, I thank God whom I serve, as did my ancestors, with a clear conscience, as I remember you constantly in my prayers night and day. I think this is a striking verse in 2 Timothy for several reasons, but the main one is this. I don't know about y'all, but my faith is just not where Paul's is, man. I got a lot of room to grow. If I got arrested and was put on death row and wrote you a letter, I'm probably not saying I'm remembering you constantly in my prayers night and day. If anything, I'm probably writing, will you remember me? Because at the end of the day, when you're in trouble, sometimes you only think about your trouble. But there's something about you being involved in the Lord's great commission of discipleship that transcends trouble and helps you to see what ultimately matters, which is the faith of Jesus being shared to everyone who will receive it. And that's what Paul's showing us, that regardless of what trouble you may be experiencing in your season of life, those things are not excuses for you to delete yourself from God's program of disciple making. That just because it's busy doesn't mean you don't get to not be engaged. Just because there's a few challenges doesn't give you a reason not to be engaged. In fact, I would think Paul would say that my continued steadfastness and engagement in God's call to make disciples actually made the trouble a little less turbulent to bear. And so Paul says one of the things we can do for our disciples, one of the things we can do for the people we love and the people we interact with, is to remember them constantly, day and night, in our prayers. How are you at praying for others? I didn't ask you how you're doing at praying for yourself. I'm pretty good at praying for me. How are you doing at your faithfulness of petitioning God's throne for the sake of others? You know, we always say, I'm praying for you, right? Or somebody comes to the church, yeah, I'm just thinking, okay, I'll make sure you're praying for you. And I used to say, I'm praying for you so many times, but got convicted because I never would or would forget about it, that now, to this day, when someone sees me and they say, hey, I'm going through this, and I say, I'm praying for you, I've now developed the habit. As soon as they walk away, I say a prayer, so that I might be faithful to believe God, not just for myself, but for others. Remember, one of the most powerful things you can do for the kingdom is to pray for others. And the second most powerful thing you can do is to let them know that you prayed for them today. I dare you, as soon as this video shuts off, to text that spouse or text that kid or text that grandchild or text that coworker or text that friend and say, God brought you to my heart today. I'm thinking about you and I'm praying. That's Hope for Today. I'll see you next time.